Hey, how's it going, ladies and gents? It's been a while. We're back here with our recording of the week one out of week 18 weeks for my picks for the NFL games. Now I realize that my pick today for the Cowboys Buccaneers game is pretty late in the day. That being said, I saw a couple of posts that reminded me that this game was actually today. So that was a good thing to have, I guess. And by the time this video is up, the game might already be underway. But you can see this recording this video at 5:38, so you know my prediction is authentic and whatnot. You can see over here 5:38. Plus, I'll get all the other predictions in on time regardless. Anyway, Cowboys Buccaneers, I think it's pretty obvious the Cowboys are one of the worst teams in the NFL, and the Buccaneers won the Super Bowl last year. I don't know why they had this game as the first game of the season. Dak Prescott is back, but the Buccaneers are potentially even better than they were last year. Every single one of the players that they had on their Super Bowl roster returned this season. Tom Brady in his 22nd season in the NFL. But let's get to the meat and potatoes. The actual prediction: both of these teams have really good offenses. The Cowboys have a really good offense. Their defense is really, really bad, though. And you know what Tom Brady does against bad defenses is tear them apart. The Buccaneers' defense is pretty solid. I don't want to say like it's a top 5 defense in the NFL, but it might actually have been last year. Don't know. I don't think it is. Their defense, when I think about the Buccaneers, I don't think defense. I think offense. But that being said, I think it's going to be a shootout tonight. I think it's going to be like 47-42 Buccaneers. And the reason I think it's going to be a shootout tonight is because Dak is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. The thing is, the Cowboys' defense is so bad that it doesn't matter. Right, so I think the Buccaneers win that one. I think pretty much everybody is saying that, right? Seahawks, Colts. I think the Seahawks win this one. Now, it's going to be interesting. I think Russell Wilson always has to pull some magician stuff out of his butt, but Carson Wentz is new quarterback for the Colts since Philip Rivers retired after just one season being on the Colts. The Colts were a playoff team last year, and so were the Seahawks. So that would be interesting. I don't really have too much faith in Carson Wentz, though. I'm going to go with the Seahawks in this one, 28-24. I have faith that the Colts can put up points. I just don't know that it's going to be enough to stop Russell Wilson and that Seahawks offense. Jags, Texans. Both these teams are really bad, even with the addition of Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence is essentially getting thrown into the fire. And his first game against, well, actually, no. The Texans don't have J.J. Watt anymore. Forget about that. I was about to say the Texans have J.J. Watt. They don't. The Texans are super bad because of the fact that they basically trade all of their players away for, no reason. The only good part of their team is Deshaun Watson. Very much like the Jaguars, they only have one good player in their team, and that would be Trevor Lawrence. But Trevor Lawrence is a rookie, and Deshaun Watson is a guy who's been an all-pro before and has been to the playoffs and has a lot more experience, and for that I have to pick the Texans here. I like Trevor Lawrence. I just don't know that he's going to be the guy that will elevate the Jags to the next level, especially not against an opponent like the Texans who have, Deshaun Watson, who's been, the guy for the Texans for a while. I think it's going to be a close game, though. I think it's going to be like 27-24 Texans, but yeah, not the greatest game. Again, here. Not two teams that are not very good. The Eagles and Falcons. I kind of like the Falcons a little bit more here. I don't know how I feel about Jalen Hurts yet, or any part of the Eagles, really. The Eagles are potentially the worst team in the NFL right now. Yeah, it's not going to look good for them this whole season. But, I don't know, I feel like the Falcons are pretty bad too. But the Falcons have Matt Ryan, but they don't have Julio Jones anymore. But I still think they still have enough players to win. The Falcons still have enough, good players to win, even without Julio. Like, they should still be fine. I think they win, maybe 24-17, probably. Chargers versus Washington. Honestly, I think the Chargers win this game. I think the Chargers win just because Justin Herbert is so good. But I think it's going to be, I think it's going to be close because I forgot that Washington has Fitzpatrick, who they should be starting Fitz over literally anyone else on the entire team at QB. Just because Fitz has the most experience. He's been good over the last few seasons, especially in the early part of the season. He's generally better than he is later in the season. But even with all that said, Washington as a team, I don't know that they can beat that high-powered Chargers offense, especially with the way that, Justin Herbert's going to be slinging it back there. I think it's going to be a potentially high-scoring game, though. It might even be I think I'm going to predict a 35-34 victory for the Chargers here. Chargers don't usually win games by more than 3 to 4 points anyway, because they're just that kind of a team. But I think they can win this one, though. I think they win that one. Bills versus the Steelers. Now, I'm a Ravens fan, and I do not like the Steelers. And I do not like the Bills. That being said, I think the Bills are the better team here. I think they actually are because, the Bills went to the AFC Championship game last year. The Steelers were eliminated in the wild card last year. The Steelers had a good 11-0 run last year against a very easy schedule. That is not going to be the case this year. They are playing the Bills right out of the gate. The Steelers have so many issues on their team. They have a good team, but that Bills defense is for real, though. That Bills defense is for real. And, even that being said, Josh Allen is also for real. Ben Roethlisberger is aging, and he still doesn't have, a real number one receiver, even though the wide receiver core for the Steelers is really good. The Steelers' running game is awful. The Bills are a good defense against the run. Their defense is really good. Who the hell is the Steelers running back anyway? Is it Najee Harris? I think it might be, right? Yeah, that's going to be tough. I think the Steelers lose that game. Maybe 28-24, I would guess, probably, right? I don't know. Lions and 49ers. Honestly, I'm going to say it right here. The Lions they took the L on that Matthew Stafford trade with the Rams. They took a fat L. They took a gigantic L with that trade because Matthew Stafford is a lot better than Jared Goff. And a lot of people are going to be like, whoa, how can you say that? Jared Goff got carried by the Rams defense to get to that Super Bowl, people. Wake up. Jared Goff is not that good of a quarterback. Jared Goff is average at best. The Lions are trash. They are very bad. Jared Goff is worse than Matthew Stafford. And Trey Lance is for real. Trey Lance is going to be good. The 49ers are going to slaughter the Lions. For sure. For sure. I'm thinking it's potentially even going to be 42 to 24, and I'm not even kidding. I think this is an absolute blowout. I think the Niners absolutely destroy the Lions. That's a very bad Lions team. Very bad. Vikings Bengals. Both teams are kind of suspect. I'm not sure where either of these teams really stand, but the Bengals every single year over the last like 5 years have been incrementally getting better, while the Vikings have been incrementally getting worse. And I think at this point, the Bengals are the more complete and better team. Their offense is really good. Joe Mixon is an underrated player, and Joe Burrow was and probably is the best player to come out of last year's draft. People just don't see it yet, but give Joe Burrow some time. He had a bad line last year. He still probably has a bad offensive line. I think they might have made it a little bit better. The Cincinnati defense is really bad. That being said, like, the best they don't, like, the Vikings don't have Stephon Diggs anymore. He's on the Bills. Adam Thielen is fine, but, like, you only have one receiver that's, like, decent. You don't really have a running game in Minnesota. Cincinnati overall, they're probably going to make some mistakes. They might lose the game off of mistakes, but I think they're still a better team, right? And I think I got to go with the Bengals like 24-17. I don't think they win big. I think this is a messy game by both teams because both teams are pretty bad. But I still feel like the Bengals will make less mistakes than the Vikings to end up winning that one. Jets-Panthers. Oh boy. I mean, last year I said the Jets were the worst team in the NFL. I was almost right about that. This year they're a lot better though, because Zach Wilson appears to be decent. Again, I don't know how far he can take them. Maybe to at least 5 to 6 wins. And an 17 game season, you better take them to at least 5 to 6 wins. I think the Jets win this one. I think probably, right? Because who the heck is the Panthers QB, right? That's the like CMC is back, but like the Panthers at QB are terrible, right? They're bad. They are not like the Panthers are bad. Your best player is a running back. It's not good. I think the Jets probably win this game like 31-28 or something. I think it's going to be a high scoring game because there's going to be a lot of weird stuff that happens, but I don't know, man. I think the Jets won that game, though. Cardinals-Titans. This is an easy one. Easily, the Titans win this easily. They have Julio Jones now. They have Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill. While I think somewhat mediocre, it has a lot of weapons. I don't like the Titans as a Ravens fan, but I was happy the Ravens actually got that playoff victory against them last season. I like the Cardinals a lot. I think Kyler Murray has a lot of upside. I just don't think they have a good coach. I think Cliff Kingsbury needs to go. That's the one thing I think needs to happen to make the Cardinals a decent team, is that they need to get rid of Cliff Kingsbury. First of all, they should have never hired him in the first place. Dude had a losing record as a head coach, in college. Why? It wasn't that bad, but it wasn't good. And now he still has a very mediocre record in the NFL as well, so. I think the Titans win. It's going to be close because the Cardinals will put up a good fight most likely, right? Probably about 30. I'll give it 34-31. I think the Titans win a close one. Browns-Chiefs. Again, a game that probably should end up being close, but probably won't end up being close. I think the Chiefs absolutely probably blow the Browns out of the water, actually, now I'm thinking about it. I think they scored 42 on them. Maybe even 48. I'm going to give the Chiefs 40. I'm not going to give them 48. I'll give them 42. I think it's going to be like 42-35. I think the Browns score a lot of points in this game, and I believe it'll be a shootout. But I don't see the Browns winning. I'm going to have to give the Chiefs the dub here, pretty much. And that'd be funny, too, because that would mean that the one team I've given a W in the AFC North right now has been the Bengals, but they're playing the Vikings, so I kind of had to give it to them. Patriots, no, I almost said Patriots Bengals. Patriots Dolphins. I don't like Tua Tagovailoa. I really don't. You left a bad taste in my mouth at the end of last season. He kind of cost the Dolphins their entire season last year by throwing 5 picks against the Bills. Granted, it was the Bills. It was a tough matchup, but you can't throw 5 interceptions against anybody and expect to win. Right? Like the Dolphins, honestly, I don't know what they're trying to be. I feel like last year, they kind of had a fluke season. I mean, like, the Patriots have Mac Jones now. I actually think Mac Jones is going to do really well in the NFL. But I still think this is going to be a close game. I think the Patriots win, like 27-23 or 24. 27-23, let's go with that. 27-23 Patriots win. It's in Foxborough as well. Let me just check, make sure I'm right about that. Yeah, it's in Foxborough. I don't see the Patriots losing at home to the Dolphins. Like, I mean, they have before, but week 1, nah, I don't think so. Giants Broncos. This game sucks a lot. Both teams are really bad. Teddy Bridgewater is the quarterback of the Broncos. Which, man, what a career Teddy Bridgewater has had, right? Saquon Barkley is back. I think that makes a big impact, I think. Okay, Daniel Jones is a little bit underrated, I think. And even though he's not that good, and the Giants are not that good of a team, both teams are bad. Both teams are really bad. I mean, like, you have Philip Lindsay is your best playmaker, but Saquon Barkley is better than Philip Lindsay. And you know, Cortland Sutton is your best receiver on the Broncos. To be fair, I don't think I can name a receiver on the Giants. Their receiving core is trash. Their receiving, like, maybe Sterling Shepard, right? Is he even still there? I don't know. I don't pay attention to these teams. They both suck. That being said, still has to be a winner. I am gonna go with potentially what a lot of people might think is an upset here with the Giants. Not really a true upset, right? Like, the Broncos aren't even that good of a team. But I think the Giants win this one like 17-13. Not going to be a high-scoring game. Both teams are so bad that, like, it can't happen. Packers-Saints. I think we have to go with the Packers. This is going to be an interesting game. Jameis Winston takes over for Drew Brees. Drew Brees is, by all accounts, better than Jameis Winston. If Drew Brees was still on the Saints, it would be a tough matchup for both teams. Aaron Rodgers is still in the green and gold, and he is still going to light the Saints up because that defense is not very good. Let's be honest here. I think it's going to be a close game. I think Jameis can do a lot. He's going to at least throw like 2 interceptions probably. And that's going to be the killer, right? Jameis cannot compete with Aaron Rodgers on the same level, realistically, and expect to win with the Saints team that he has to lead. Like, this is a tough team for Jameis to come in and try to be the quarterback for. It's not going to be easy for the Saints this year, and they're going to just have to deal with that. I think the Packers win, like, 37 to, like, 28. I think the Saints put up some points because Jameis Winston, he's got a big arm and he can get it downfield to people, but like the rest of the team and Jameis himself is a liability for all the interceptions he's definitely gonna throw. Last time he was a starter, he threw 30 interceptions. It's probably gonna happen again. Bears Rams. Oh my God, Chicago. Why are you not starting Justin Fields week 1? Andy Dalton is old and washed up and has never won a playoff game. Why are you starting Andy Dalton? Andy Dalton might be worse than Mitch Trubisky. He might be worse. And the Rams got exponentially better because they have Matthew Stafford as a quarterback now. Oh my god. I do believe that Matthew Stafford is better than Jared Goff. They're both like middle of the road quarterbacks, right? But man, I think the Bears made a mistake. I think the Rams are gonna win this game. It's gonna be close. I'll say the Rams win it 24-17. Alright, Ravens, Raiders. Okay, I'm a Ravens fan. I said that. You can probably see my Ravens football back there. But we all know the Ravens are going to win this one. The Ravens are definitely going to win this one. The Raiders' defense is horrible. That defense was one of the worst defenses last year. They don't have enough additions to realistically fix what they had last year. One of the worst rushing defenses in the NFL. One of the worst passing defense. It doesn't matter how good your offense is. It doesn't matter the Ravens' defense is not that great against the run. The Ravens have a fantastic pass defense. It doesn't matter how good Derek Carr is. He's not going to have a great time against that Ravens defense. Not to mention the fact that the Ravens' offense is the best offense in running the football in the NFL. Even without J.K. Dobbins, the Ravens still have Gus Edwards, and if you're a Ravens fan, you know Gus Edwards is a lot better than people give him credit for, so I have to go with the Ravens on this one. I think it has the potential to be close, but I still think the Ravens are going to win by at least 10 points. So I'll say about 35 to 25. 35-25? Is that fair? I feel like that's fair. 35 to 25 Ravens win. I don't see the Ravens like running the score up or anything, but good lord, if anyone thinks the Raiders are going to win this game, I don't know, man. I feel like the Raiders have the potential to be sneaky in this game if they want to. I just don't see it. I just do not see it, man. I don't see it happening, realistically. Not to mention the fact that I think the Ravens got better on defense this year. I think they actually did. Like, they were already good, but they got even better. This week has a lot of duds and a lot of good games. And some games that are just, like, average games. Like, honestly, the Ravens-Raiders game for the first Monday night game, as a Ravens fan, I'm kind of biased on this, but I think that's a decent game to watch this week. It's alright. Saints-Packers, again, decent game to watch. Broncos-Giants is a dud. Don't watch it. It's going to be bad. Panthers-Jets, bad game right there. Vikings-Bengals, even though it has the potential to be a dud, I think you should watch it if you have the chance. Because that game is going to be hilarious. That game is going to be one of the most hilarious games played this weekend. And someone's going to have to win. And by God, it's going to be funny when it's over. I think, Buccaneers-Cowboys, that's a good game right there. That is a good, solid game right there. Colts-Seahawks is, that could be, that's average, I say. Average. Okay, is bad. That's gonna be it's gonna be a good game right there. That'll be a good game. That's terrible. It's gonna be a freaking shootout. I mean, not a shootout. It's gonna be a blowout. It's gonna be really bad. There's not that many bad games this week. Not really. The Bears-Rams game is gonna be horrible to watch. It's snooze fest, actually. But yeah, I think it's a typical NFL week. Like, there are a couple of games that are like really good, and a couple games that are really bad. Game of the week, though, if I had to say, if I had to pick the best game of this week, honestly, it might be tonight's game. It might be tonight's game. That's a really good game. Cowboys Bucks. That's a really good game right there, actually. Yeah, that's a really good game. I kind of want to watch it, but I'm not gonna be able to. I'm not gonna be able to watch the whole thing, but I'll probably be able to check out the end of it. All right, that's enough for me right now. So I'm gonna be signing off.